In this lecture, we're going to create a script which extracts all the images that make up this video file. So this is in my directory, and you can play that in REPL. It's a 3-second long video. And it's made of 90 frames. So 90 images, 90 pictures stacked on top of each other and being rendered every fraction of a second or so, and we see that as a video, right? So we're going to extract all the frames and save them inside a folder. So let's create an empty folder, name it images. So inside that images will go all the JPG frames, 90 of them. So go to main.py and start coding. So the first thing we want to do is perhaps load the video inside Python with cv2.videoCapture. That is a class which expects as argument, guess what? Video.mp4, the path to the video file. So this one is this. That will create, you will see if you print it out, nothing impressive. So that's the output of this print function. So that means this is an object instance and a video capture object instance with this particular ID in memory. So in the computer memory. We don't need that ID just there. But the idea is that this is a class and that is the object instance. And as you see, nothing impressive. But if you apply the read method, which is a specific method of video capture object instances, so if you execute this now, we see something. So the output of this is a tuple. You see, it's a tuple which starts in here, so the opening parenthesis. This is the first item of the tuple, you see the comma here, and then we have the second item, which is a NumPy array. So the second item ends here, and this is the parenthesis of the tuple, the closing parenthesis. So we have two items, the boolean and the NumPy array. The NumPy array represents the very first frame of the video. So the video has 90 frames and read will get you the first frame, but that's not exactly true. Read will actually get you the next frame in line. So we have 90 frames. If you execute read once, you get the first frame. If you execute it one more time, the second read method will extract the second frame. You see, we have now one. Well, we also have this, but that's from the last execution, because this is an interactive shell. The REPL, the way REPL works is that it sends the code in an interactive shell, so it keeps the shell, the session open. Anyway, the two read methods are returning this new tuple, so true and the frame, which goes in here and so on, and then another tuple for the second method. So the next frame. So what is true? What is true here? What is the other true there? Well, we get true whenever a frame was found, because if we keep executing this, if we add it in total 90 read methods, if we had 90 read methods here, like we keep adding them and so on, after the 90th method, we wouldn't get any frames anymore, and the output would be false for this. So this first item of the tuple basically tells us that a frame was found. And we could also get false if the video doesn't exist. So if you say videos for a file path that doesn't exist and you execute and you scroll down here, yeah, we see false. We see false 4 times. So false, 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 and false for all the 4 times we executed read. And none means no frame. So let's change videos to video, and let's add 86 more read methods. No. Or is there a better way to do this without having to execute read 90 times? Well, yes, there is, using a while loop. And it works like this. So I'm going to delete this print function, and what I'll do is I will write two variables, success and frame, equals to that. So the code starts, imports OpenCV, and creates a video object, and then in success we will store the Boolean value. So success will be equal to either true or false, and frame will be equal to the next item of the tuple that we get from this, which is the NumPy array, the frame. So in this first call of read, we will get the first frame, and then we say while success. What we do is we say cv2 I'm write, and we want to write this first frame in an image file inside images here, this folder. Therefore, what we do is we specify the path of that image file, which is images slash what's the name of this? So we're going to have 90 images. It makes sense to use some sort of numbering, right? So we could say a placeholder and say count here. So count could start from 1.jpg. So the first frame would have the name 1.jpg stored inside images. And then we increase count by 1 using this formula. So in the second iteration, count will be the current count value, which is 1, plus 1. So count will get a value of 2. So again, we get the first frame, count is 1. We write the first frame under 1.jpg. We increase the count by 1, so count is 2 now. The loop is run again, while true, so it's true. We get the second image written. But what do we write here? Well, the frame. But this time we want to get the next frame. So we say success frame is equal to video.read. So that will get us the second frame, and that will be written as 2.jpg. So this frame here. And that's the idea. We'll run. And you see the images are being generated. So 1 is here, 2 is here, so it's in an alphabetic order, and then you have 3 somewhere here, right, and so on. So 90 should be the last image. However, that was not the case, because I think we should change the order of these lines in here, because we get the first frame, and before we get the second frame, we want to write the first frame in here. So get the first frame, write it in an image file, and then get the second frame, increase the count by 1. So we have the second frame currently in frame, therefore that will be written in frame. And then we get the third frame, increase that to 3, write that third frame in 3.jpg, and so on. So that should work. I'm going to delete all these files from here. You can delete them either by going to here, one by one, or you could go to the shell and say rm for remove -r, and you want to remove everything that is inside images. So images /*. That deleted all my images under images. Now I can run again. The last one should be 90.jpg this time. So it's still generating new images. And there we go. So 90, that's the last frame. 89, slightly different from 90, 88, 87. So they change a little bit from each other. Right? And that's our final code. So even though this is not very useful to just extract some images from a video, but it could be useful, what we'll do in the next video, where we're going to extract only one frame from a certain timestamp in the video. So given a timestamp, we will get the frame of the image for that timestamp of the video. Let's do that in the next video.